Hello world, welcome to the School of Programming. In this class, we're going to build these buttons that have variants in two dimensions, one in color, the other in style. We have radical red and honeydew in color variants, filled and bordered in style variants. We'll make use of CSS custom properties, also called variables, to keep the CSS clean and dry. Let's start with the markup. I need buttons with a class B, and I need two of them, one for sign up, the other for sign in. I already have some resets and other styles where I've set up the layout and colors. Okay, let's select the class B and add in just the attributes that are common to both the buttons. Padding, border radius. Also, let's have no border by default. Make the font bold and uppercased. Now, we know that color can vary, so a variable is what we need, and variables in CSS come in the form of custom properties, which can be defined by having two hyphens in the beginning. We can have more hyphens to separate words, then a colon, then the value. Color decor is for either the border or the background depending on the style, and I want it to be light gray here. We'll need another custom prop to hold the color of the text, so I'll also define color text and make it dark gray. Also fix the typo. Now, we want to use the color decor prop for background. To do so, we have to make a call to var and pass in our custom prop, which will substitute it with the value stored in the custom prop. In the same way, I'll make the color prop to use the color text custom prop. For our variant classes, let's give a b-red to sign up. Now in our CSS, we'll select the same class and give background color as red, but then we'd be restricting it to be a filled button. So the only thing we want to change is the color of the decoration. So I can override that custom prop and assign it radical red, which is another custom prop that I've defined up top so that I didn't have to remember the code for this color. Here, I was thinking that when the button is filled, we can have the text color to take the background color, but then I realized that this is the place to do that. We only want to set the color here, but I still did it and copied the same for the honeydew variant and then realized what I made was a mistake. Anyway, I can add the honey class to the button and see if it's working, which it is. Now, we can move to writing classes for style variants. For the filled variant, we can't just have background be set to a color like this radical red, because then we'd be locking down on the style variant. Instead, we can set the background to our custom prop, which will come in from another class. Could be the default one, the red one, or the honey one. Let's apply this class to our sign up button. We don't see a difference because we already have a background set in our B class. Let's go ahead and write the other style variant that's a bordered button, wherein we want a 1 pixel solid border whose color will be defined by one of our color variant classes. Let's apply this class to the sign in button so that we can better see the changes we're making. Okay, the reason why it still has the fill is because the background prop is defined in class B. Before solving that, let's also give the honey color variant class to our sign in. Now, we set the background to none in our bordered class, and there we go. If we look at the design, we see that when the button is bordered, the color of the text matches that of the border. Now, this can be achieved in multiple ways. I can set the color prop to color decor, or set the text color custom prop to color decor. I guess I'll stick with this. Then, we also need to do something similar with the fill style, as we want the text color to match that of the background. So, we'll set the text color to that of the background, which I know is the value stored in this rich black folk or custom prop. Another common prop on buttons is that the cursor becomes a pointer, so we'll set the cursor prop to pointer. Now let's create another button to exercise another variant whose color is red but style is bordered. And there we go. I can change the color variant from red to honey to get another honey bordered button. Or now change the style to filled to get a button filled with honeydew. Anyway, we can get rid of that for now and come back to making the arrows. We can use the after pseudo element as we want the arrow to come after the existing text content. Setting the content prop to this string will give me an arrow. But this would do so on every button that has the class B, which might not be desirable. So I'll actually create an arrow variant of B and style its pseudo element. Also, I need to apply this variant class to both the buttons. Let's give a margin to its left and 4 pixels looks right. For animation on hover, I'll select the same class with hover, and when it's hovered, we need to transform the after element. And this is how we write that selector. I want to transform it on the X by 4 pixels. Now watch me struggle to figure out why the transform wasn't working. At first, I thought that I had the wrong selector, but after quite a bit of struggle, I figured out that pseudo elements are inline by default, on which transforms won't work. So I had to keep them inline but also be able to transform. Changing the display to inline block was the solution. Now we just need the smooth transition to happen and we'll be done. So I'll go ahead and add the transition to transform with 320 milliseconds. Great. One more tip before this ends, instead of having these variables up top, I can give a fallback to the var function as a second argument. Let's actually create a button with just the class B to see what happens. So if it doesn't find the definition of the custom prop, it will use some colors that we definitely not want. We can't give a second value to the var function, which will only be used when the custom prop is not defined. So I'll go ahead and do that to both background and color. I reversed the colors that I'd used before, but you get the idea. And I guess that's it for this one. Thanks for watching.